Joining me now is Charles Lipson, Professor Emeritus at the University of Chicago. Recently, as we all know, Hunter Biden has agreed to a plea deal on tax and gun charges. And this comes as House Republicans have been investigating the business dealings of Hunter Biden and the rest of the Biden family. You recently penned an op-ed entitled, "Are the Walls Closing In on Old Joe?" Can you explain this for us? How and why would the walls be closing in?
Well, we're getting more and more evidence, both that the family grifting operation involved a lot of family members, which makes it harder for President Biden to say that he knew absolutely nothing about it, which he has done repeatedly, and he has also said he did nothing to advance it. The charges that Hunter has pled to look extremely light and look like charges that could have been filed within a month rather than taking 5 years, during which the statute of limitations ran out on a lot of things. What's new now, Brittany, is that we have statements from whistleblowers in the IRS who look extremely credible and non-political, saying that when their investigation of Hunter Biden began to touch on Joe Biden, they were blocked at every turn. Those statements, plus the statements that I believe 6 people in the room heard from the U.S. Attorney for Delaware, David Weiss, that he was not ultimately in charge of deciding where and what to file, are directly in contradiction to statements made by Attorney General Merrick Garland, including statements under oath and statements made by David Weiss later. We need to sort that out, and we need to do it under oath.
I do want to talk about that whistleblower a little more. The IRS whistleblower testified that the DOJ slow-walked its investigation into the president's son and gave him preferential treatment based on who his dad was. So first, what do we know about this whistleblower and how credible are they?
Well, the first thing I want to say is that for most Americans, it's perfectly fine that dad wants to help a troubled son. I completely understand that. I think most Americans do. What is inconsistent here is the president inviting him to a state dinner, making a statement in a televised interview that his son did nothing wrong, when the president, of course, is the head of the executive branch, including the Justice Department, and then inviting him to Camp David while he has all these charges, serious though they are, pending against him. They also contradict the idea that Hunter was capable in some way of earning all the money that he received. If they're going to say he was deeply impaired, he was a drug addict, he really couldn't do anything, he's not responsible, then why are they paying him $80,000 a month from here and there? It's all, but the main point here is Hunter is, in a sense, not important in and of himself. He's not an elected official. He's only important if what he was involved in, said or did, touches on the President of the United States and statements that the President has made. That's why the whistleblowers' statements and testimony are so important. To me, he looks perfectly credible. I'm sure that the Washington media, which is out to discredit him, and the mainstream media will do as they have been, which is not to investigate the underlying charges, but to see what they can do to damage the person who brought them forward.